Hello and welcome to the 2022 Lone Star Conference Basketball Media Day. This is Tom Perpetua for the Lone Star Conference. And thank you for joining us. We're here today with UT Permian Basin head men's basketball coach Kyle Tolin, and he's joined today by senior guard from Killeen, Texas, DaJuan Jones. Let's start off, Coach. Year two, what are your expectations?
Yeah, I think every year your expectations become a little bit higher. As I've been in coaching, I figured out that probably my expectations of our team are probably going to be higher than anybody else's expectations. But I feel like we can build off of last year. The goal was to get better through recruiting and guys coming back. That was a goal. So the goal is high expectations here. I mean, I think that's why you come to UT PP. That's our expectations. We're playing in the best league in America. That is my thoughts. And again, if you can compete in this league, you can compete with anybody in the country, I feel like. So our goal is to be competitive, compete every day, and to continue to get better with this program.
Bouncing off that, you talk about the conference being the best conference in the nation, Division II. What did you learn last year in your first season in the Lone Star?
I mean, I think I learned a lot. Obviously, I felt like I had a base of what the Lone Star was after being in it a year. I think you get a true identity of what it really is. So the depth of the league was really good, top to bottom, just to how good the league was. The coaches in the league are very, very good, as well as the players. We've got Division I type players in this league as well that make it really good. So, and I think we learned that we needed more depth. That was the thing we learned. We learned kind of players, what we needed players. It's a little different league than other leagues. So I learned a lot. And I watched every game from last year all summer and kind of tried to take notes on things that worked and didn't work, maybe what would work this year better than last year. So spent a lot of time. I feel like I learned a ton throughout the league and have a huge amount of respect for each program in the league and how good this league is top to bottom every night.
Same question to you, DaJuan. Like, what did you learn, first year in the Lone Star Conference after playing the GAC previously?
Definitely, with no offense to the GAC, it was definitely a talent gap. It's definitely a little different. Bigger athletes, better players, really. But just that's really it. I mean, just got to execute better. Every little thing matters even more, even in this conference.
Sticking with you, DaJuan, a lot of new guys on the team this year. What have you guys been doing to get them caught up to speed on and off the court?
Honestly, it started in the summer. We did Zoom calls. Coach Tolin had us doing Zoom calls as a team. And really, since we've been out here, we've all been hanging out together. We literally do everything together. Go eat at the caf, playing video games in the room. Yeah, and I mean, it's even watching film with some of the guys, just building that connection, just seeing what we all can see together.
Replacing some of the newcomers, Coach, you lost 3 of the top 4 scorers from last year. DaJuan's the only one returning in that category. What are you looking for? Who are you looking to step up and fill that role this year?
I mean, I think several guys. I mean, like you hit on, we lost some good players, some guys who are really efficient offensively. You kind of look at percentages through the league. I mean, we were the second highest field goal percentage in the Lone Star last year, and obviously those guys that we're losing were a huge part of that. So, I think we're going to have to do it by committee. We feel like we've got some guys who can step up. I think some guys back from last year will step up into bigger roles. I think that. There's several new guys that we feel like that can step in and help with some of that scoring aspect and the depth of it too. And you ask about the conference. I felt like you go play at people, and there were times where 7, 8 may not, but they had 9 and 10 or 10 and 11 that were ready to step right in where we didn't last year. So that's got to be an area where the best teams I've been around that have been successful always had different guys that could step up every night. And I think that's one thing that we tried to improve on from last year. Is last year essentially we had about 3 that could do it every night as far as the level of scoring, and we're hoping we can do it more by committee and have more guys that step up that, hey, he's a leading scorer tonight, he was a leading scorer tonight, he was a leading scorer tonight. We can do it with a lot of different weapons, we're hoping.
All right, next one, I'm going to give you a second to brag on DaJuan. How important is it to have a point guard of his caliber that's been in your system now for a couple of seasons?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll say it, and I hope everybody in the Lone Star looks at me and appreciates it, but I think DaJuan's the best point guard in the Lone Star. Those are really good point guards in the league, but I think he's the best one in the league. He's gotten better. I think people will see his decision making's better. He's making more shots. He made 18,000 shots a month, 3-pointers, throughout the summer. He was here all summer, worked hard. He's about to get his MBA, so he was around all summer. So you win with really good guards. You win really big with really good point guards. That's the thing I figured out kind of with coaching is teams that are really good in our league or in any league in America have really good point guards, and we're blessed because I think we have the best one in our conference, who is better than he was last year, and we're looking for huge things out of DaJuan this year.
Going back to DaJuan, what's it going to take to win the LSC this season?
Like Coach says, just getting better every day. We come in and work hard. We got to stack days. It's literally brick by brick. You don't want to peak too early either, so it's just getting better literally every week of the season from now to the end. And I think we got a lot of guys that can step up and help us get to that goal. It's really defensively. I think defensively is going to be the main thing. If we can sit down and get stops, that'll be big towards, because we're going to score. We got good offense that's in place, so defense and rebounding is really going to be the biggest things this year.
All right, and last one for Coach. Who's impressed you most in camp? What have you liked at your team so far?
I think the first thing you think about is the chemistry of the team. That's been really impressive. These guys hang out. They spend a long time together. I felt like that was an area of emphasis after last year, was like, we got to make sure we're all on the same page. That's half the battle with teams, is making sure that they'll show up and they'll compete every day and they like each other, they enjoy being around each other and competing. And when you see things like, the Redeem Team documentary came out on Netflix, and those guys are all hanging out and doing that. DaJuan's birthday was a couple weeks ago, and they're throwing him a surprise party. One night they're all going to the movies. They all went to a dinner the other night. So they're doing a lot of stuff on their own. I think that's been impressive. So, and I think lots of different guys. We're counting on a lot of different guys. We tried to get more depth. I feel like we've got pretty good guards coming in. Obviously, we got DaJuan back, and people know how good he is. Keon Cradock has gotten better than he was even last year. He's made huge strides and huge improvements, making more shots and counting on him every day. He's been really consistent. So you're counting on guys at returns, but you're counting on some new guys too. AZ's a transfer from IUPUI. It's a big guard, really fits the Lone Star, can really score, can really shoot it, and we're expecting big things out of him. I hope he plays at the caliber that we think he can play, because there's really good guards. You look back at who's coming back in the Lone Star, and I think he fits in that category. Rodney Carson is a guard that's a really good defender. Was at the University of New Orleans. That's been good through camp as well. Evan Palmquist can really shoot it as a guard, so as well. And then we really honed in on trying to get bigger. I thought that was an area we just weren't quite big enough. We had a hard time rebounding defensively. We didn't protect the rim or the paint very well. I thought that had to be an area of emphasis, so we got bigger. We got 4 big guys that came in. Lino Manham is a 7-footer. Is a junior college transfer. Nathaniel Powell's played Division II basketball the last year and put up good numbers, can really score on the block, is a big body. Jalen King's been super impressive. I mean, teams in our league, I felt like, you just look at last year, Angelo and West Texas, and those guys had really good 4 men that were really kind of guards, that were slashers, really active. Their motor ran, rebound, they could shoot threes, but they also put on the floor, and he kind of does all the things really well. So he's been huge and been really, really, really good through camp. We're expecting big things out of him. And then Daniel Moody's another one, 6'7" kid that can really shoot it, that kind of gives us a different dimension. And that's the other thing I learned too, is we're going to play a couple different ways. I mean, some people have bigs, but some people play a lot of guards too. So, I feel like that's one of our things that we can do well, is we can match up with, if you go small or if you go big, we can put different guys out there. So the depth and the versatility of the team has been really good through the camp so far.
All right, now DaJuan, I got some tough questions for you. Best dancer on the team?
That's a good one. I'd have to go with probably Damari. I think Damari got some good moves.
Who's the team DJ?
AZ, definitely AZ or Rod, one of those two, AZ or Rod.
All right, if the coaches were to host a 3-point shooting contest, who wins?
Me.
The coaches.
Oh, the coaches. Oh, I got Coach Tolin. I think Coach Tolin would win.
Yeah, I would win.
Yeah, I got
the context.
I got Coach Tolin.
And then one last one. Who on the team are you taking to win a game of horse?
Am I taking to win? That's tough. I like Evan. I'll go with Evan. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.